everyone, Joy McCarthy here, holistic nutritionist. So today I'm going to talk about 8 plant-based proteins. Now, I'm not a vegan or vegetarian, but I definitely eat a predominantly plant-based diet because A, you get lots more fiber, super nutrient dense, it tends to be cheaper, and it's kinder to the planet. Especially for the meat eaters out there, if you're eating factory farmed meat, it's not kind to the planet at all. So if you do eat meat, make sure always organic, grass-fed. But today's video is all about plant-based proteins. Protein is super important because it is a building block of every single cell in our entire body. Our skin, our muscles, even our bones and our cartilage. Our hair and our nails are actually made of protein. And protein is super important for things like making enzymes, making hormones, making different chemicals in our body. So there are 9 essential amino acids, and that means your body cannot make them, so therefore you have to eat them. So it is really, really important to make sure you eat a variety of foods. The biggest challenge I see with my clients when I look at their food journals, especially the ones that are health nuts, is that they're eating they're eating the same foods all the time. So that is a great way actually to create health issues, health problems, is by always eating the same foods because you miss out on super important essential amino acids. So the first food I'm going to talk about is spirulina. You may have heard of spirulina before. I'm sure you have if you're a health nut. But spirulina is a dried blue-green algae. So it is not a heavyweight in the protein category, but it has a really nice range of amino acids. It has 22 amino acids. It's anywhere from 60 to 70% protein by weight. Plus, it's a good source of iron, which is such an important mineral. It's a great source of calcium, beta carotene. So if you were just to take this on a spoon and eat it, not what you want to do, not very tasty. So this is something that you put into a smoothie in moderate amounts. That's really, really key. And make sure you, once you open it, make sure that you keep it refrigerated as well. So my next food that I love to use in baking especially is coconut flour. Coconut flour is it's a total superfood really. So coconut flour is like the dried coconut defatted meat and it is gluten-free. 2 tablespoons gives you 5 grams of protein. So if you try out my pumpkin coconut flour chocolate chip muffins, which are amazing, you're definitely getting more than 2 tablespoons of coconut flour per serving. But I really, really like using this flour because it's higher than wheat flour in terms of its fiber content. So this is a flour, when you use this in baking, you feel full. I also have an amazing recipe for coconut flour pancakes in my book that you must check out. So my next food are black beans. These are dried black beans here, and you get 21 grams of protein in half a cup of cooked black beans. So black beans are amazing for digestive health too because they're rich in fiber, so they really help you have good bowel movements, and also really, really good for diabetics because they really help to balance out your blood sugar. And they're super high in phytonutrients. In fact, the black skin of a black bean is rich in nutrients and is fantastic at reducing inflammation. It has phytonutrients that lower inflammation, really important. Just make sure always with beans, you cook them properly. So you want to soak them first and then cook them, or you can sprout them. My favorite way to enjoy beans, well, 2 ways, just sprinkling them on a salad or making black bean brownies, so delicious. My next food are hemp seeds, otherwise known as hemp hearts. So the heart is removed from the tough outer shell. So the heart's what you want to eat. It's nutty and yummy and delicious. And a 1/4 cup of these guys has 15 grams of protein. So it's really easy to get these into your diet. First of all, you could try my hemp seed maple butter spread on toast. So yummy. Mix it into a smoothie, sprinkle it on toast. Oh, so many ways to enjoy these hemp hearts. And they're also a really good source of a fatty acid called GLA, gamma-linolenic acid. Really great for reducing inflammation and really great for hormonal balance as well. So hemp hearts, definitely something you want to add to your diet. Chia seeds are a total superfood. As you may have seen on my blog, I talk about chia seeds all the time. So 4 grams of protein, 11 grams of fiber in only 2 tablespoons. So these are obviously ground, so you need to make sure you keep them in the fridge or freezer because they'll go bad faster than the whole. Sprouted chia is also really great because it's very easily digested and it's much higher in protein. But chia is amazing because it makes things sort of gelatinous. So it's great for puddings, for example. It's also a good egg substitute. A warning for you though, when you're introducing chia to your diet, like any kind of fiber, introduce it slowly. So start out with maybe 1 teaspoon and then increase slowly from there. Next up are almonds. Now, almonds are surprisingly a good source of protein. In fact, 1 cup has 30 grams of protein. Now, of course, I would never recommend you eat 1 cup of almonds. That would be a lot of almonds. But if you're eating a 1/4 cup, like a nice little handful, you're getting about 8 grams of protein, plus fiber, and almonds are a good source of vitamin E and healthy fats as well. Now, to make them more digestible, you can soak them in water overnight, makes them a little bit soft, and releases the enzyme inhibitors and actually makes them more digestible. So, I'm getting a little hungry. I'm gonna have an almond. Make sure they're raw. Sorry, I'm speaking while eating. Raw, unroasted, unsalted is always best. Next up are beans and lentils. So lentils are full of fiber, minerals, such like a good, it's like total superfood. And again, so inexpensive. So 1/2 cup of lentils gives you about 9 grams of protein, whereas garbanzo beans, otherwise known as chickpeas, 1/2 cup gives you 20 grams of protein. So, I mean, they each have their health benefits, but this is definitely the protein heavyweight. So what I love doing with beans, garbanzo beans, is making hummus. Such a great mid-afternoon snack because protein is really good for your metabolic rate as well. Now, you may notice I have canned. Sometimes I do buy canned. I always make sure that they're organic, no salt added, and BPA free. But always it's best to buy dried and actually cook them yourself. And finally is bee pollen. So bee pollen is literally the pollen that collects on the body of the bee and falls off. And then bee farmers collect it. So don't worry because no bees were harmed in the process of collecting the pollen. So I buy mine locally from farmers markets. 40% of the weight of bee pollen is actually protein in the form of free amino acids. So really easy to digest. Vitamins, minerals. There's so much about bee pollen we don't even know yet. It's such fascinating stuff and is very immune building. A little goes a long way. So you can sprinkle it on basically anything. So I suggest usually starting out with about 1 tablespoon. And some people even just take it on a tablespoon and eat it. Just be careful you don't choke because they're definitely little granules. My favorite way is really just to sprinkle on a smoothie or to sprinkle into my granola. So bee pollen is totally awesome. You may notice when you go to the health food store, there are a huge array of plant-based protein powders. Now this is also a great way to add protein into your diet, is to add a protein powder. I love putting it in smoothies, in pancakes, in muffins. So if you go to my blog, you'll find the protein powder I use the most often. I'm using one that's actually fermented. I'll include links in my description below of recipes that I talk about. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you really love this video and you have a joyous day. Bye everyone.